Welcome back to our mini-series on the 3 things that buyers screen for, and today we're going to be talking about time and digging a little bit more into that, so let's get started. I'm Scott Duke. This is the Happy Dealmaker channel where we empower small business entrepreneurs like yourself to sell your business on your own. We give you the tools, the tips, the resources, and everything you need to learn how to do that right here. If that could be of use to you, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, let's get started. In our last episode, episode 1, we did a high level of the 3 things that buyers are looking for or screening for when they're going to purchase a company. So let's do a quick recap of that. Number 1, they care about their time. Number 2, they care about their money. And number 3, they care about their status. In today's episode, we are going to learn about time. What buyers want more than anything is more time. Don't we all just want more time? If only we could have more time. So that's what they want. They want more time. That's what we all want, more time. So let's show them how, when they purchase our company, they can get more time. And this is the psychology around it. And I'm going to show you guys 2 different kinds of buyers, all right? So our first buyer is a buyer looking at purchasing a company under $500,000, for under $500,000. So this means the company's probably doing between $50,000 to $150,000 a year. It's going to sell for around that $500,000 mark. And so what kind of buyer is going to be purchasing that, right? Well, it's likely going to be someone who their current situation is they're in a 9-to-5 job that they're putting 40 hours a week into. They're an employee in that job, or they're a manager, or they're self-employed. I mean, these are the only 2 things they can be, right? They're either working somewhere else right now, or they own a smaller business and they're working in their own business, right? We'll talk about different types of buyers that are buying bigger companies, but for smaller companies where the vast majority of the transactions take place in the marketplace, and likely where you're at if you're watching this video, this is where you're at, right? So our employee here that's working the 40-hour work week, their desired situation when we think of it from time is to spend less time at work, right? That's really what they want to do at the end of the day. And really, actually what they want is less time at work, but less time spent on doing things they dislike, right? When we're working for somebody else and we're just, kind of going through that slog and we're getting work put onto our plate every single day, there's work there that we actually don't enjoy and we don't want to do. And that's probably why this employee is like, I want to be my own boss. I want to own my own company. So we need to dive into that. We need to leverage that so that when we go to sell our company, they're going to get all excited about it, So what we want to do, the psychological tactics, the psychology tactics here, staff and systems do the work, right? That's what we're telling them. Hey, listen, like you were the employee. Now when you're the boss, the employees are doing that work that you don't want to do. And there's systems here that are doing most of the work that you want to do. So your time can be put to better use, right? And then the other thing is spend the time where you want, which is the big thing. It's like the stuff that you love to do in your current job that you're doing right now, that's all you need to do. That's what you can just choose to do, that stuff, and the other stuff gets put on the plate of somebody else. So this is how we kind of, if we know the psychology of our buyer and what's really driving them from a time perspective, we can use that to sell our companies, and we can make our companies look better to a buyer, more attractive to a buyer if we know their psychology. So this is like huge information I'm dropping on you guys right now. Then if they're self-employed, right? What's their desired situation? They're less time on what they don't like, right? So they want to spend, same as the employee, they want to spend less time on what they don't like. We all know as business owners, there's lots of stuff in our company that we have to do that we aren't totally happy about. And their time spent has greater impact, right? So if they've owned a company before, a small business before, and they may have been like spinning their wheels and spending time where it's not creating a lot of value, we want to show that if they purchase our company, in our company, all the time that you invest into it, the output is so much better. So your time so much more, you're using your time so much more effectively in this new business that you're going to be thinking about buying. So again, it's almost the same thing. Like staff and systems do the work, so there's going to be less time that you're spending because the staff and the systems are doing it. And the time that you are investing is more valuable as a greater return. All right, so this is how we kind of crack through the barrier, the time barrier, for these 2 particular types of buyers that are purchasing smaller businesses. All right, let's click forward a slide. Let's look at another buyer. So buyers looking at companies under 2 million. Okay, so what's the psychology of these buyers? Where are these buyers coming from? Well, their current situation is they're likely in a 9-to-5 job, but they're probably higher up in that job, right? So they're maybe a manager or executive, so they're putting more hours in per week. And what's their desired situation? Less time at work. They want to be there less, right? and less time spent on what they dislike. So this is the same as the other employee. It's like, I want to spend less time doing stuff that I don't want to do. I want to have more freedom of choice, more freedom with my time to invest it how I want to invest it. And I just really want to spend less time at work, right? So the psychology where we're going to get them is staff and systems do the work. Same thing as before, right? And spend time on what you want, where you want. And this is what's really going to attract them towards purchasing a company. The hardest thing here, and just a side note, is that people that have only ever worked for a company before and have only ever been employees before, they have to have a whole mindset shift, right, to be able to buy a company. And part of that, helping with that shift, is you're going to be spending your time differently. You're going to allocate your time differently. You're going to put it towards more high value tasks, and you're the one that's going to be able to choose how to use your time. That shift has to happen, right? Because they're not going to have the directive from above anymore, because now they're going to be the boss, right? And I'll talk more of the psychology of this in other episodes, but this is the hardest nut to crack when you're dealing with an individual who's never owned their own company before and kind of run their own destiny, right? So there's the time element's big here for these guys, because they're going to be using it differently, right? And it's going to be better. Like, this is better. Your future's better than your present. That's really what we're selling here at the future at the end of the day. Then if they're a business owner, okay, so I had in the previous slide, I had self-employed, and then I have business owner, okay? So the business owner, in my definition here, at least for these slides, is that you're self-employed on the previous slide. Maybe you just run a business on your own, or maybe you have, it's like your husband and wife, or you have a couple employees. In this particular slide, I go business owner. So you own a larger company, maybe there's 25, 100 staff in it, that kind of thing. So what is this person? They're looking to buy a company under $2 million. What are they really trying to achieve from a time perspective? Well, they're trying to grow their current enterprise, right? They're trying to grow their current business, and they want to spend less time doing that. So less time to grow their company. So they're looking at acquiring another business, because really it's just going to be faster. It's going to get them up to speed. It's going to get them that growth quicker than organically growing themselves. And so their other desire is like less time implementing systems on trial and error. So if I can take a company that's already exists in a space that I'm trying to get into, and a customer base I'm trying to capture, and a market I'm trying to capitalize on, if I can buy a company that's already in there, I don't have to take the time to grow it, and there's going to be a trial and error along the road. I can buy a company that's already established and has already proven success, right? That's going to save a massive amount of time. And that's really what the business owner is looking for, that when they're trying to grow their company. They're just looking for that speed. So for them, from the psychology side, we're trying to show them, okay, we have a company, the systems and processes are already in place. You do not have to spend a moment to try and build them out. It's no time at all is going to be invested here. And then no time spent on growing your current company. Think of all the time you'd waste growing your current company to get to where our company is today. You no longer have to do that. It's instant growth. It's like the day you write the check, it's done, right? So these are how we this is the psychology from a time perspective, how we break through the resistance that's going to be there when a buyer comes and looks at our business, and they're looking at it through the frame of how much time is this going to give me in my life? How much extra time am I going to be awarded in my day if I own this company? And if you can nail that one, you're so much closer to having a successful sale. All right, that's our time episode. Our next episode is going to be all about money and how we leverage the desire of money from our buyer to sell our company. Now, don't forget, like, subscribe so the next video pops up in your feed when we post it on Tuesday or Thursday. Look forward to seeing you guys there. And remember, every business is sellable.